This is Racer X with another video. In this video we're going to talk a little bit about the Pro Line Whole Shot Pro Moto tires that you have to mount yourself. Hopefully they'll come out with some pre-mounted ones because their gluing and processing of the pre-mounts is a lot stronger because the glue they use at the factory is the strongest stuff for these type of applications. Sorry about that, guys. It's early morning. I've been gluing tires since I was 13 for all my racing that I've ever done, and I got pretty good at it, but it's still boring and a hassle. I know there's other videos on how to mount these tires and other tires and different things. I'm going to go through my process of how I do it real quick on the whole thing. The first thing you're going to need is a plumber's stainless steel ring that has a bolt through it. And let me show you in my box kind of what I'm talking about. If you can see that little ring right there, you're going to need one the same size as the outer diameter of your rear tire and your front tire. What this is going to do once you're done prepping and cleaning the rim, and I'll get into that also, you're going to need to put that around the tire once it's already ready to go to be glued, and you're going to tighten it down with your fingers until it squishes the tire and the bead lock together. Once you get the proper setting for the tire to be tucked in from tightening down the ring, it'll tuck under in your front and your rear. Then you leave the ring alone and you take your finger and you pinch up just so you can see the bead lock between the rim and the tire, and then go ahead and start putting your glue in lightly all the way around the rim on one side. Then go to your front rim and do the same thing. Then you're going to go ahead and leave the ring on it and let it sit flat on the table for 1 hour. After about an hour, you might want to check it with a toothpick to see if the glue's set up. If it is, turn it around and do the same thing on the back side. Then let both rims and tires sit on the table for another hour, hour and a half. Check it to make sure the glue's set up, and then you're pretty much done. You can release the ring, unscrew it, release the ring because it'll expand. Take the ring off, put it to the side, and you can either put them on your car, your bike, whatever you're doing the ring application for the setup of the gluing on, and just let it sit a little longer so the inside of the tires glue up properly from the air that has already been pushed into the rims and tires once you pull the tire over the rim. Getting to the prepping of it before you even do any of the gluing, you must wipe down the rim with rubbing alcohol on the edges really good. After you're done doing that, you're going to need 900 grit sandpaper, and you're going to sand the inside edge only of the rims so they're scuffed up on both sides of the rim all the way around. Then you're going to take your tires and you're going to get a little bit of acetone or gasoline and put it on a rag, and you're going to wipe down the inside edge of the tire, and you're also going to need to wipe down this edge of the tire so you get all the mold release off, because that's what that oily slippery stuff is, mold release from when they inject the tire into the mold. Okay, so they're able to pull it out of the mold. I do a lot of molds for the movie industry, so I know how it all works. Anyway, you're going to go ahead and clean it really good all the way around on both tires, inside and outside of the tire's lip. Once you've done that and you see that it's dried out, kind of like that, you know, where it's dried and not shiny. Like this one's kind of shiny. Well, a little bit. Anyway, it's still got a little mold release on it, and that's pre-mounted stock tires. Anyway, once you're done with that, you are ready to go ahead and put the tires on the rims after you put your foam insert inside the rim. Tighten down your rings so you have a perfect bead lock around your rim on both sides, front and back, and then you can go ahead and start gluing. On this type of application, you might want to put a little extra glue along the bead as you go around after the first application of glue has been applied and dried a little bit. It's just going to give it more strength, and the glue will start to crack a little bit, but it still gives it strength because what it's doing is it's biting on the inside lip of where you sanded, so it's locked down real hard. And then what the excess glue does is it gives it a little bit of flex but strength in between the crack of it, and they don't look too bad. I mean, it could be a lot cleaner, but you don't want it really clean. Reason being because these tires will, you know, pull off the rim if you don't put enough glue on the inside and outside. And that pretty much goes for all off-road buggy rims and tires. Back in the day, I remember how many times my tires pulled off the rims because I wasn't gluing them properly. And that's back when I was like 13, 14, 15. And I was gluing up tires. I learned real quick how to do it the right way. So what else could I tell you? Make sure your foam insert that's inside the tire is perfectly centered and mounted properly and tucked in before you pull the tire over it, and then double check it to make sure that it's still centered before you start gluing them up and all that stuff with the ring. What else could I tell you? The compound is M3, so it's still real good. I ran them on the street really hard, and as you can see, they're still brand new. It runs really good on the street. I mean, there's a lot of traction. So you can run these on the street too if you choose to. But they're preferably set up for blue groove racing on racetracks, and you can use them to play around and run around and all that stuff. In dirt areas, grass areas, it's really grippy. So be careful because your traction is going to be pretty gnarly. It's going to be real tight and stiff when you roll in and roll out and pull wheelies. So you're going to have a lot of traction. One other thing I found through these Proline mountings is that the inside insert is way too small for the rear tire. See all that? That's just all tire. And if you push on it, there's barely any insert there. So Proline should have came up with a fatter insert to go inside the tire so it takes up a little more radius like that and makes it a little more round, because once it's over and done, as you can see, it doesn't look perfectly round. It looks flat. And then when you put it on the ground, it looks even more flat. It looks like it has a flat tire. Well, that's kind of the gripping process and how the tire works, and that's probably why they did it that way, but I still don't approve of it because it has to have a little more meat on the inside. It's just too airy. There's just too much room going on in here. Way too much for the back tire. When it comes to the front tire, the foam insert is absolutely perfect. It's nice and round, as you can see, and it's just like flawless. That's just perfect. But for the back tire, no, it needs a bigger insert. So hopefully Proline will get a load of that and make it bigger. How much bigger, I didn't measure it off to say exactly how much more they should have put in the tire for a foam insert in width or in height. But next time I mount some, I will go ahead and do another review of the proper insert thickness on this. What else is there? I went with black rims, because I wanted orange and black. But the silver looks nice too. one thing you guys need to understand, as far as like mounting this type of compound, it being so soft, you need to use medium CA, like Losi glue, associated tire glue, good tire glues. Don't use like Bob Smith or CA or any of those, because all it's going to do is shatter. The glue here is just going to shatter and fall apart, and your tire's going to start coming out once you get the RPMs up. Doesn't matter what surface. So use the Losi glue, associated glue, good tire glues, and you'll have to do a research on which is the best. In my opinion, Losi and Associated have the best tire glue. If you want to use a hobby glue, for myself, excuse me, when I mount my tires, I don't even use hobby glue. What I use is Gorilla Glue, super glue, medium strength. So it's Gorilla Glue medium, and it's super strength. It's $11 at Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever, and that is the strongest glue. And the setup time is nice because it gives you a little time before it sets up. So if you mess up, you can fix it. So that's my go-to glue, is Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Super Glue, not the yellow stuff. It's Gorilla Super Glue medium, and don't get the thick because it sets up too long and it's too thick. So that would be the way to go if you want to get something from a hardware store or whatever like that. So hopefully you guys liked the video and it helped you out somewhat. There's a lot of other videos like it. And once again, happy racing and enjoy your new tires. They work really well. Peace out.